Well, Tony Bacigalupo, right?
I'll give you a quick Italian lesson.
Okay.
Bocce is kiss and lupo is wolf.
Ah,
Lupo is
Bacigalupo.
there you go.
Tony, but who cares about that? We want nwc.co, right? And co is like in co-working space. And you're the guy who's 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago started almost this whole movement single-handedly because you hated working at home, you hated working in offices, and you wanted hip young people around you when you went to work every day. So you just created your own space in New York, didn't you?
That is pretty much that's mostly true. But I've never heard it explained.
Really?
Thank you so much for that.
I see.
On your program.
Well, see, what I lived for making 1 minute commercials. That's everything. My life was. How could I say that in 1 minute? And get somebody to ring the phone. Yeah.
Wow, man,
So my main.
you're doing great.
Now we got to blow the next seven. So, but really, you had one of the neatest co-working spaces in New York. Now you're in Colorado, and you have like a group that helps people create co-working spaces. Because if I want to be a freelancer, now I'm in the suburbs of Washington D.C. or whatever, and man, I hate looking in these boring suburbs, in a house all alone, and everybody else in the house is working all day. And what the hell do I do? Do I go to Starbucks? Maybe. But you created something better, didn't you?
Yeah, well, that's the thing about co-working, right? Is that working inside of a traditional office, a lot of people were done with that a long time ago, and now more and more people are working from home. But the more you work from home, the more you realize that, you want to be able to get out,
Yeah.
you want to be around other people, you want to be able to feel a sense of belonging to something bigger than yourself. And so the more and more of us are able to work from wherever we want on our laptops, the more we're getting together and forming new kinds of communities and just finding new ways to kind of work together. And co-working gives us that way to do it.
But I think it's more. It's like having a soulmate that's experiencing the same problems you are. Man, where am I going to get my business today? How the hell do I fill out this form? All this kind of shit that your wife maybe has no idea what you're talking about because she's going down and working for some big conglomerate where the staff takes care of that.
But and this movement is amazingly diverse, and that's what's great about it.
Uh-huh.
That the whole family can get in on this. But yes, right, being able to talk to your neighbor and just ask people about what's going on.
Yeah.
And right now, more and more people are working for themselves, and there are so many unanswered questions about that. Like like working in a traditional job can feel oppressive.
Yeah.
It's nice to know that everything's taken care of for you. You show up, you do your job, you get paid. Done, right? When you work for yourself, you have to manage all of that by yourself, and that can be really hard. And so if you're in a community where you're around other people who have been through those kinds of challenges before, it's a lot easier to know, well, hey, if I have a problem, I'm not stuck in my house trying to figure it out. I'm around other people who can help me.
But more than that, I mean, you're talking about, if you're working in a place that everything's taken care of, doesn't that sound like jail? You get 3 meals and a place to sleep, and you don't have to worry about anything. And you're not growing. You're not growing. And that's what life's about. How are you going to grow as much as you can, right?
Yeah. Well, you know what? There are lots of people who have jobs they love and they have a great relationship with their work, but there are an awful lot of people who don't have a good relationship with their work, and I think we can do better. I think that we as a society, we're in a place where traditional employment is changing. You're seeing less and less, those traditional jobs.
Yeah.
And that's giving us an opportunity to actually decide that we're going to make a relationship with our work that's ours. That it's not, someone is deciding our fate for us. We're going to decide what our work is and what our relationship to that is. And I think that's a great opportunity because, too many people spend too many years of their lives unhappy working.
No.
I don't want to see that continue.
It makes no sense to me. And also, it makes me, if you find something you love to do in life, you don't have to retire. Why retire? Man, I was thinking, when I was younger, I said, oh, I'll retire and play golf. Well, I play shitty golf. Why do I want to retire and do something that's shitty? I'm mediocre at it. Now, I love making a fool out of myself on TV, and I can keep doing that till I die.
Absolutely. Well, and if we can associate our work with our realization of our potential as people, and something that we care about, and it doesn't, it doesn't always have to be do what you love. Like it doesn't always have to be fun. But if you can connect what you value in life and what's rewarding to you to your work, and to say, I exist on this planet to be a positive influence on the people around me and to do good in this world, and that's my relationship to work, then let's all do that for as long as we're able to do anything.
Well, I think the big organizations are pushing more people to do that. 30 years ago, you could retire with a watch and a pension and all that kind of stuff, so people stayed. Now you can't anymore. That's going away. Yeah. So it's safer almost to be by yourself, because that way, if you're a consultant and have 5 clients, that's better than one boss who doesn't come in one day and decide they don't like you.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's evolving a lot as time goes by. But certainly we're in a place now where that traditional, work 30 years and retire with a pension thing, that model is not so reliable anymore. Yeah. And we're building new models now. And like you said, having a diverse client base, having a business, having an interdependent support system around you. Is certainly, opening up lots of exciting new possibilities, and I think there are a lot of open questions, right?
Lots of questions.
Warner talks about, is that, having a new kind of a safety net for the workforce, and I think that's an ongoing conversation, but there's a lot of potential there, and I'm excited for where it's headed.
No, I am too, because it seems that, to me, the most valuable resource we have is people. And if people are going out every day and not enjoying what they're doing, then we're not getting the best out of those people as a society. So if you have fun playing football, you're going to work as hard as you can at it. If you hate it, you wish the coach never picked you to have to go in. Yeah. And I think that's what we have mostly in the workforce. People that want to be there. So then you and I have to deal with them when we deal with that organization. All these people don't want to be there. Like Comcast, you call up and they're miserable.
Yeah. And and I think somebody said this when after the 2008 crisis, when there was a lot of unemployment, and I think there is to some degree some permanent unemployment, because it's going to be up to us to make our own employment. But they said, there's no shortage of work.
Yes.
The issue is that the work isn't being handed out tidied in the form of traditional jobs. Yeah. But there is a lot of work to be done out there, because there's a lot of suffering. There's a lot of, just education to be done. There's a lot of, big earth-shattering problems to be solved. And, I think that a lot of us care about solving a lot of those things and doing a lot of that work. But it's up to us to go do it now.
It's like you did when you said, hey, why isn't there a co-working space? And you went and created it. You went on Kickstarter and raised $18,000 to do it, and had no idea how to do that either, did you?
No one hired me to do it.
Exactly. Just figured it out. Yeah.
And I put myself out there from the heart, right? Because I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew that I had to do it. And when I put that out there and I just shared with people what I believed and what I cared about, people responded to that.
Absolutely.
They were attracted to it, and they wanted to help me, and they wanted to participate, and that all just really started to create positive energy. And so the more that you who's watching this, the more you can tap into that yourself, the more good it's going to be.
Absolutely. Well, as I get older, what I realize is we go to school all the time to develop our brain and be smart and everything. And then when I got older, I said, shit, my heart's smarter than my brain, Why aren't we developing that? Like picking a loved one, well, I want someone 6 feet tall and is broad shouldered and all that. Some midget will come in the room and you fall in love and you can't do anything about it.
I fell madly in love with a beautiful woman who lived 1,600 miles away.
Makes no sense. And so why isn't our work life the same way? That trust our heart more. on what we do. Yeah, and that's the way to live. And so many of these organizations, we spend 8 hours a day around people who don't love us at all. Yeah. That must be toxic in itself. But to actually solve that problem, we find you, and it's nwc.co, not com, but co. NWC stands for New Network Cities, and that's what you're all about, creating this so people can grow better, I think, is really the bottom line in all this. And you gotta, if you're a plant and growing in society, you gotta find the right pot to be in.
Absolutely, and so let's build better gardens for all
right,
of us.
right.
Wonderful. I'll say this, to people watching, if you're working from home, if you're working for yourself, if you're thinking about it, odds are there is a co-working community near to you where you can go and be around these kinds of people, exposed to this world. And check it out. Just try it out. Meet the people. Get a feel for it. And if you don't find a community that really vibes with you, start one.
Yeah.
It's really easy. You can go to meetup.com, start a community. You can do it online. And you don't need to rent a space. You can use cafes. You can use public spaces. Start a community. Find people who you resonate with. And just get out there and bring people together. And I promise it will be super fulfilling to you, and it'll help put you in a better direction.
Wonderful. That's using technology instead of having it use you, right?